some people to join. Hi. Welcome to Spiritual Superstars Instagram live show. Today, with an amazing and special guest, the one and only Arianne Phillips will be joining us today. And she will be sharing a little bit about her own personal journey on becoming a costume designer and fashion stylist, and also her experience on being tested positive with COVID-19. But first, we're going to wait a couple of minutes for people to join. Hi, everybody. Arianne, I have an amazing special song just for you. I know that you like Madonna, so just to bring some joy into your day, everybody. Hi, and welcome to Spiritual Superstars. And it's with great pleasure that I want to introduce to you everybody here live from Los Angeles, California, from my living room, Arianne Phillips. Waiting for her to join.
Hi, Annie.
Hey! Hi, beautiful! Welcome. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Well, dressing up just for you today.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. This is my first Instagram Live.
I know, and thank you so much for taking some time to join us today and sharing your personal journey and your experience. It's just a great pleasure and honor to have you here today. So thank you so much, and especially because it's like we're becoming friends with technology. So
yeah, it's amazing to be connected. I mean, I feel my social life is more busy than ever, or busier than ever here on, with technology and Instagram and Zoom and everything. It's incredible. It's like, at home, usually you're relaxing, and now it's so busy.
I know, yeah. So it's a great tool. It's just the way that we're using it for a purpose, I think. And especially with the show that I started hosting a couple of weeks ago, and it was something that I always wanted to do. Welcome to Spiritual Superstars. And this is a show with the main intention of inviting people from the spiritual world and also the entertainment world to share their experiences, their life journey, and also to inspire people to remember their passions and their dreams and to never stop believing in yourself. So we're going to start by, I would love for you to share with us a little bit about your own personal journey on becoming a costume designer, fashion stylist, and a little bit of your background. Did you always dreamed of or loved fashion when you were growing up?
When I was a little kid, I loved playing dress-ups, and I love, my parents are artists, so they really encouraged creativity in our home. And I was raised in the 70s, and I had very bohemian parents, and we actually didn't have a television when I was a kid, and that completely made me obsessed with pop culture. It's kind of like you want what you don't have, right? So I was always super drawn to pop culture, and my parents, to their credit, always encouraged my sister and I to be creative and follow our dreams. And so I had a very good foundation that I started with. And so I'm super grateful for that.
So who are your biggest inspirations growing up with music and movies?
I was really inspired by the street culture in London, especially in the 80s with, the way that music and fashion and theater and film was all kind of like a mashup. And it really, and also about the youth voice at that time was really, really powerful, and a lot about self-expression. So that really informed me a lot, and it was something that I was drawn to at an early age.
Oh, I love that. And then on your own personal journey on discovering your purpose when it comes to fashion, I know that you moved you were born and raised here in California, and then you moved to New York, right?
I was actually born in New York, but raised, my parents moved shortly after I was born. My parents moved back to California. And I was raised in Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then in my 20s, I moved back to New York to finish college and kind of find my way.
And what a great place to like fill yourself with inspiration and creativity also. When it comes to your own designs, when it comes to your own creative process, how do you find that inspiration? For example, for music videos that you've been into, or movies. And I have to say, for my own personal journey growing up, I know that you style Madonna for Ray of Light, right?
For the video?
Oh my God. And that outfit, I have to say, Little Marie, I did my best on imitating that outfit and that style because it was so cool, and just growing up with her. And that album also was really cool. So when it comes to your own creative process on working with big personalities, how do you handle that inner critic or self-doubt when it comes to creating?
Well, in terms of the inspiration and where it always starts with the content. So, for instance, with a film, it always starts with the script and, of course, with the collaborators, who the director is, who the cinematographer is, who the production designer is. But really, the inspiration starts with the story, and that's the journey. And I would say the same for working with artists like Madonna. It usually starts from the artistic material. So whether it's a song or a music and a piece of music that's going to be a music video, I'll start being inspired by the music itself, and then a director will come into the mix and create a concept around that music video. So there's lots of places to jump off. One of the wonderful things is being able to have a fluid, free-form relationship with a director or an artist where you can bring your inspiration to the table. So that's one of the things that I admire so much about Madonna, and really what has kind of allowed me to, she's invited me to keep coming back, but the thing that's really kept me coming back is Madonna's own curiosity and her creative curiosity. She expects when with her collaborators to bring something to the table, right? So it's a really wonderful ebb and flow of creative conversation, whether it's a book we read or a gallery show we've seen or a museum exhibition or a film we've seen. The conversation is always about creativity. So I've been really lucky to work with so many highly aesthetic creative people.
So it's just easy to feel inspired, I think, also.
Yeah, it's a collaboration, it's a collaboration and a conversation. I mean, people are people. Once you get over, the first time working with Madonna, of course, it was unnerving because of her status, and I knew her work and everything, but that quickly dissipates, when you are working as a creative collaborator and you're just, I think the intimidating thing about Madonna is just by the time I started working with her at the Ray of Light album, she already had this incredible body of work. She was already a cultural icon. So, and I can say the same about Quentin Tarantino or Tom Ford, who both I've worked with as directors. Before I worked with them, they already had an incredible body of work. Now, I started my career with Lenny Kravitz, and we came up together. So when Lenny and I started together, he and I came from nothing. We were not, known. Our work wasn't known. So I think that, that relationship will remain special to me. Still one of my dearest friends, just in terms of being able to contribute to an artist's, notoriety or success on the visual side is really an incredible gift.
I love that. That's so inspiring. And when it comes to, because fashion is a way of for us to communicate, right? So it's a way of self-expression. So especially in the time that we are living in right now, where do you see fashion is going, and how it's going to translate into the world after all of this ends, because it will end. How do you
Yeah.
see people dressing up, or like how do you see fashion, like the way that it's gonna start going?
Well, fashion, I always say fashion is a reflection of our culture at any given time, right? So if you look at, a Vogue magazine from 1960, you're going to see what was reflected in the culture at that time. Or if you look at a painting from the 18th century, you can see what was fashionable or what was relevant. Fashion is relevance, right? Relevance in any single moment. So what fashion is today is constantly evolving. It's our self-expression, it's our identity, it's a reflection of our culture. So we're going through a huge, a cultural, monumental shift right now. We have been going through with technology. We've been going through a massive digital shift anyway, as we see how magazines have become, paper magazines have become more redundant, and digital magazines have come more to the surface, and we see retail shopping has been on a downside, where we see online e-commerce on the upside. So that's all about our culture, and we see so much creativity right now with this the situation we're in right now, being quarantined, and fashion is such a global economy and such a global culture. Everyone I know is always on a plane all the time. You think about Fashion Month with the fashion shows from New York to Milan to Paris. It's people are traveling all the time, so we can't do that now. And now the schedule's shifting. So it's really, I think, incredible in that it's giving us a time to pause and to think about how we can be relevant moving forward. We see all kinds of amazing creativity, like one of my friends, Matt from Matt and Marcus, the photographers who work, I know from Madonna. Matt created the Quarantine magazine, a digital magazine, and you see everyone you see a lot of fashion industries, including behemoths like LVMH, creating hand sanitizer, people coming together and stepping up. And it's more than ever with what's happening with our planet, and fashion is at the top of one of the most egregious and polluting industries that exist. So we have to make a paradigm shift. Like it is happening with COVID. It's kind of accelerating. And so we have to rethink. But out of this, as humans, we are very, we are innovative. We are ingenious. We're constantly able to adapt and grow. So I'm super optimistic. I also think that this is a really, it's terrible to see the loss and the death and the tragedy from COVID. I'm not minimizing that at all, but I also think that in these kind of times, we have the ability to hit restart and to be innovative. So I'm an optimistic person. I'm forever optimistic. And I think that this is an opportunity for us to pay attention to the planet, because we have to, and also about infusing purpose into what we do. We have such a promotional culture where everyone's promoting their makeup line, their shoe line, their beauty products, their clothing, their movies. Everyone is promoting, and we see right through that. Like, as an audience, like on Instagram, we'll scroll right through someone selling a product, a hashtag, paid sponsor. And we see that all the time, where people are endorsing products and they don't even tell you, but you can feel it. So I think the idea of infusing purpose into what we do is now more relevant than ever. So fashion with purpose, to me, is the most relevant place that we're at, and what I think, we have to take responsibility individually, our companies and our behemoth corporations, and everybody has to have a component, I believe, in our work to give back. And if we're not making the planet better and we're just creating more product, which creates more landfill with and destroy the rainforest, which causes, all this climate change and fires and floods. We are to blame. So I think that, everyone is dealing with purpose in a new way, and we're experiencing it real time rather than a concept or marching on the street with it. So I'm very excited that, I feel more connected. I'm talking to you. I've never met you before. I feel more connected to people that I know and I don't know, more so than ever before. I'm engaging with a lot of the people that I don't know on my Instagram, my followers. I'm engaging more, and I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you say about purpose, and especially with something that you're very involved with that is rad, and especially like a couple of years now we're starting seeing a lot of red carpets with purpose or with statement pieces communicating something. For example, now I remember Natalie Portman wearing this cape with the name of the female directors, which I think was so great.
Beautiful.
And a lot of that. So if you can share a little bit about what RAD stands for.
Yeah.
How can we be a part of it also?
So first of all, go to #Radvocacy. That's RADVOCACY. So that's our Instagram handle. RAD stands for Red Carpet Advocacy, and I co-founded it with my friend Karina Martin, who I know because she used to work at Prada in VIP relations. Then she worked at Christian Dior on the marketing side. She is a brilliant creative thinker, and together we started working on it a few years ago. My desire, we both had this desire that the thing that was missing from our lives was giving back and a certain fulfillment. And I can say directly, Madonna is responsible to that for me. Watching her philanthropy and build schools and hospitals in Malawi, Africa, and she does so much that people don't even know about. And she had invited me to come to Africa on multiple occasions. And every time she'd invite me, I would be off running to go do a movie. And then, so I started to feel a bit impotent, like I didn't have the time to give to charities or causes that I believed in. And writing a check felt hollow, and I don't make the kind of money that can really create impact. So Karina and I were thinking about what we could do together to give back, and we figured with our networks and our expertise coming together, we had the idea of RAD. And the idea is that we help talent who have, actors, musicians, and influencers who have the biggest platforms, global platforms with their fans and followers, to help them raise money and awareness for causes they believe in. Because talent's always promoting other people's products, whether it's jewelry or shoes or beauty. So this is an opportunity to help talent raise money for their causes. And there's so many actors and actresses and musicians who are cause-minded and philanthropic. And this is an opportunity to create campaigns with them to help raise money. And we've partnered with everyone from Margot Robbie to Camila Cabello to Elizabeth Moss to Patricia Arquette to help people raise money for the charities they believe in. So Radvocacy is our Instagram handle. Please follow us. And we are working on a couple special projects around COVID charities right now with some talent, which we'll be announcing shortly. But we launched a year ago, and we had 25 partnerships last year, and it's fantastic. So for me, it's the opportunity to change my conversation with talent from, when we're hanging out on the set or when we're, having conversations like, what do you believe in? What really moves you? Like, what's your issue? Like, is it, girls' education or saving the planet, or how can we come together for good? So it's really given me so much life, really, this past year to be able to come together with talent and brands, a lot of brands, for good. And it's been really, really, really exciting.
Oh, I love that. And
Follow
nothing
it.
more beautiful just to give back and to make a difference in the world. So I congratulate you.
And
It's
have
so
fun. Thank you. Yeah, the whole idea is to celebrate fashion and also do good along the way. Just infusing purpose into what we love already. And we love fashion. We don't want it to go
Yeah,
away.
we do.
We love music. We love art. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I know you have to go now, but you're feeling much better with your you had your experience. Just like how long ago was it that you got tested for?
I actually never got tested for COVID
Oh.
because there were no tests available, but I had my first symptom on the 16th of March. Thank you for asking. I am much better.
Oh.
Some of my good friends got tests, and so I was able to have that support. I am much better. I did experience all the typical symptoms of fever, ache, high temperature, sleeplessness, and I lost my taste and smell. Actually, I still don't have it back. Wow. But I was able, I had about 5 really challenging days and about, like 15 to 18 days after that of just fatigue. So it is a journey, but I had a lot of support. And if you go to my personal Instagram, you can see I posted my immunity booster and all the supplements I took. I got a lot of good information. If anyone out there is suffering from symptoms, mine were fairly mild. I'm happy to share my information with you. Just DM me.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing everything. And
Thank
I'm
you
so happy. Yeah, that you feel so much better. You're such an inspiration, and you have an amazing day. Thank you so much, Arianne, for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.